Jovan, Buha! Buha!
Yo, I'm Jovan Buha, NBA reporter and analyst for Buha's Block. But today, I am a Drake fan who is enjoying the 3 albums that we just got last night. And I could not think of anyone better to join me than Raj Chipalu, also a fellow Drake stan. Raj, how you doing, man?
I am good, Jovan. This is peak off-season type content, which I have no problems with. And yeah, enjoying 3 albums that were dropped into my Spotify. And yeah, it's been fun kind of listening and going back, and excited to kind of dive into these albums.
They said the boy was dead. They said the boy was buried, and came back with Iceman episode 4 last night, which was a movie that was awesome to see, just dropping music video after music video after music video. Then at the end, we get the announcement that he's dropping not 1, not 2, but 3 albums.
Yes.
And so he gives everybody what they've been asking for years, which is a rap only album. That's been like the big criticism of Drake for the people who love his raps. It's been, all right, well, where's the rap album? It's always, half rap, half R&B, and then he'll experiment with a few different types of music, and people want, just give me the raps and the slaps, and that's it. So he does that with Iceman, but then he also gives us Habibti, which is R&B, slower music, and then also Maid of Honor, which is more that pop, dance hall, funk. And then we even get a little bit of emo/rock at the end with Princess. Was not my favorite song, but so wanted to just talk to you about last night, that moment, talk to the chat, and I'm sure we'll get some Lakers stuff like this. I'm not opposed to answering any Laker questions. We're going to go for about an hour here, but do want to focus on last night. Like, everyone who follows me knows I'm a big Drake fan. And so I got a couple shows ago, people were like, are you going to review the new album? I wasn't sure. Definitely not in a place to review it last night. I need to marinate on it. I need to process it. But I've listened to the album 3 times. I've listened to Habibti and Maid of Honor twice, front to back. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get into it. So what was your reaction last night with the stream, and then when you found out that there was going to be 3 albums?
Yeah, before I start, I just want to say I'm not a hip-hop head or anything like that in terms of speak on this in terms of with any authority. I'm just enjoying the music, and no, that was a really cool moment of just watching it live. Of I don't know how many artists Jovan dropped like music video after music video after music video, but I thought that was what made it a lot more enjoyable. Iceman, I didn't really find a record I didn't like. Obviously, we live in a new era where a whole album is not only digested but reviewed in minutes after it's dropped. It is also placed in all-time rankings instantly after it's dropped in a very strange way. But no, it was I liked it a lot. It's funny because with Drake, he kind of gives you everything in terms of if you don't like his music, you could easily point to things you don't like. And if you do, you're able to kind of point to the songs that you're interested in as well. He kind of feeds every mouth, right? It's like, do you like rap? Do you like dance? Do you like R&B? Well, here's everything, and pick and choose from what you like. And I think that's what makes him one of the best artists that we've seen. And I thought all of them were strong projects. Not every song relates or is something that I would, play every single time or have incredible replay value to me. But just that was a cool moment. And yeah, it's clear there was a lot of things he had to get off his chest in the music, and a lot of shots and not so subtle ones.
A lot of shots.
Yeah,
they weren't Lakers related shot. There are a couple Lakers related shots in there.
Yes. Yeah.
But so I mean, first I want to shout out the chat, and I see we got some people who aren't Drake fans or Kendrick fans, whatever. It's all good. This is just to have fun. We're just having fun here, and we're talking about the albums. And but I shout out to the late night gang. Shout out to everybody in the chat. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, I mean, I thought from the jump with the start of the stream and Make Them Cry, I was like, okay, like all the Make Them songs are basically like timestamp Drake, right? And you had the leak with 1 a.m. in Albany, which ended up being Make Them Remember. So all of those and like Make Them Pay, that was the one with like the It's kind of like a trippy cartoon. You felt like you were on acid or something watching that one at like the gas station, and he had the shout out to Gilbert Arenas. Like I really liked all those. For me, I mean, Iceman doesn't really have a miss for me. I would even say like Ran to Atlanta is the one that like I've listened to a few times that I feel like it's on the weaker side of Drake and Future collabs. And there's a whole other topic about Drake and Future linking back up after Future was basically the one who started the whole beef with him and Kendrick, or at least played a big role in taking the beef to a different level. I don't want to say started the beef because obviously it had been like going on since 2012, 2013, but took it to a different level with Like That and that album. So it was interesting. I mean, we kind of knew like Drake the whole time was saying he didn't really want to beef with Future, and that came out multiple times, but then now obviously they patched it up at least to be together on the song. But what are some of the standout songs for you, and what I guess what was your overall interpretation of this? It feels like to me Drake's best raps in a while, like just the bars, right? It's not as much poppy stuff. It's not you don't have like a Jimmy Cooks on here or Nonstop or something like that. I mean, maybe a couple songs are kind of along that ilk, but it's just like it's for the people who want the timestamp Drake.
Yes,
you got that.
It's for people that want bars, right? And or who want lyrics and lyricism. And I thought there's a lot of interesting kind of double entendre and stuff like that. But for me, my favorite, like the Drake songs I like the most, one of my favorite is Do Not Disturb, which is one of my favorite just in terms of him going in. And I think, Reflective Drake is like the best one where he's kind of reflecting on the life, the fame, the money, etc. And he does that on pretty much all of you mentioned the Make Them songs. And those are ones to me where it's just straight bars. I think Make Them Cry, there's not even a hook on there. It's just straight lyrics for the total 5 minutes.
It's the classic Drake intro with the multiple beat switches too.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a really nice intro. I like Firm Friends a lot too. Any song with him and Conductor like are really good. They have a few different hits that they've done together, but Firm Friends is one of my favorites on here. I like the Janice song as well, and yeah, all the Make Thems are really good. Make Them Remember, as you mentioned, and the Burning Bridges song I thought was good too. That had the ASAP kind of diss in there, but I thought the hook was really good. Dust, even I thought Dust has got like some polarizing.
Dust has grown on me.
Yes, I like the hook a lot, and on there, I thought it was just a solid project. There were really no misses for me on, at least for Iceman. And as someone who like wants lyrics and bars and is looking for rap, I feel like I got that from there. Had a very I think it was Make Them Cry, or has a very like 5 a.m. in Toronto type. Just I'm going straight bars with it, and I enjoy the album a lot. But I again on a day after it's released, still hard to kind of remember every single kind of song and which one's which. But I thought at least this was his
still processing. Yeah,
still processing. But I think what the fans have pretty much asked was, hey, give us a rap album. Like give us a full just rap album. And I think Iceman is as close as you're going to get. You pointed out how there's no really pop song on there. Honestly, y'all, one of my favorites is the Too Hard for the Radio. Like I actually like that song, has really grown on me. Like,
it's a West Coast pop.
Yeah, it's been one of my most
Bay influence.
Yeah, it's one of my most like replayed the last few hours. I enjoyed that one. So yeah, just a lot of bars on this one.
I'm not gonna get too into this one, but this one was wild. This shout out that he gave. So for me, I think from Shebang to Make Them Remember is like my favorite stretch of the album, which is the middle stretch. That's song 16 to song 14. But I will say, I think like one thing I do with my friends is we're constantly like when a Drake album or a certain album comes out, we'll do our rankings, and then we'll kind of we'll rank each song like first to last, and then we'll consistently update it over the course of days and weeks as we listen to it more. And the funny thing is, I think right now coming out of this, my top 3 would be the songs that leaked already. And like the first half of National Treasures to me is like the best. Like that first verse, and that like you got the Kobe and Shaq reference. Like it's just that's maybe my favorite part of any of the 3 albums. But National Treasures, What Did I Miss, which has obviously been out for about 10 months, and then 1 a.m. in Albany, which was really Make Them Remember. I think those 3 are probably my top three coming out of this. But to your point, like Burning Bridges, I do really like Make Them Pay. Janice, I didn't like at first because the voice changed, but then second, third listen, it won me over, and I was like, all right. Plot Twist, obviously, and that's a ode to the burner account that he has on IG.
Yeah.
Too Hard for the Radio is it's kind of a shout out to the motto and some of the Bay and West Coast songs he's done before. And then even like I feel like Little Birdie and Don't Worry aren't going to get a lot of love, or at least I haven't seen them get a lot of love from people on social, but those two I really like as well. So I mean, it's just 70 minutes of basically nothing but rap. And
yes.
I feel like that's what people have been asking for from Drake for years. And he finally did it. I would say the only song for me that right now I don't like get excited about when it comes on is probably Bees on the Table. It's a little sleepy, but, and that's another one where like, I think Ran to Atlanta is one of the weaker Drake Future collabs. And then Bees on the Table is one of the weaker Drake 21 collabs. But other than those two, Rain to Atlanta's grown on me. Bees on the Table will probably grow on me too. But I mean, what I think is interesting is there is I kind of want to make this playlist of like, if you were making a normal Drake album he typically does like, we'll say like 20 to 24 songs. If you were making a Drake album of the three, what would make the cut for you? If it was like you had to pick 24 songs, and I would probably lean like 15, 16 from Iceman and then get like 4 or 5 from each of the other ones. And that would be probably how I would build that.
Same. I think Iceman will be the one I have the most replay value with. And again, that has the most rap on it. That's kind of my favorite part. I think he did this before too. It's just, he usually just does it with one project, like Scorpion side A and side B, right? Side A was a lot more rap. Side B was kind of the singing side of it. And I like that he kind of separated into just, okay, rap fans, here's your rap album. Like here's 18 songs, straight bars. And then from there, the second two are obviously R&B, and the other one's kind of pop dance, or not even sure what the exact, I call it kind of nightclub genre, I guess. That's very much for outside in the summer. I think my favorite on Iceman though, right now, like you just listed yours, I think Firm Friends, Watch Them Cry, and then Make Them Pay are probably like there. And then what did I miss? It's tough to rank that one because I've just had that one in my rotation for so long, but that doesn't mean it's not good. Like that one came out of nowhere, right? That was the first one he dropped, kind of like, hey, I'm back. But yeah, it would be up there, I guess, if it just dropped yesterday. But yeah, and then just the intro, Make Them Cry, was so good. Like just 5 minutes of just straight lyrics. That's kind of what I look for. Those are my favorite Drake songs. You mentioned the timestamp lyrics, and I mentioned Do Not Disturb, and there's another song called The Ride where it's on Take Care, one of the last songs, just straight bars. And yeah, I enjoyed that first 18 songs a lot.
What about Habibti? Where are you at with that album?
Yeah, it's I don't, not as big on R&B, but I enjoyed that album as well. I think my favorite on that one was Slap the City, and then Classic, and then Fort Worth. I think right now I've gone through that, I think twice, that album. But this is where it makes him special. I think the ability to kind of sing as well and kind of put different tunes in this one. I thought the production also on that album was really good. Not as long, right? I think only 11 songs on that album. But and the intro too, I thought Rusty was a pretty good intro for the album as well. But I gotta listen to that one a little bit more. And I think that one will grow on me as well. But I'm more into the rap. But I think those were my 3 favorites though: Slap the City, Classic, and Fort Worth on that one.
Yeah, we're along the same lines. I think for me, Slap the City, High Fives, Classic, Gen 5, White Bone. I think those are my 5 favorites. The Her Not or Nor There, with the Sexy Red one, like that. That's not really my my type of music, but that one I think is better than the one on Maid of Honor, which is the cheetah print one.
Yes. Well,
the WNBA one, like Fort Worth Tears. Yeah. So I would say, like, for me, this is like, I like, no pun intended, 6 or 7 of them. And I'm sure the other ones will probably grow on me, but I've always I like Drake with the melodies. I will quote Kendrick on that, and so I like Fire and Desire or songs like that, like kind of the more classic, and that's where classic I think literally is a classic. It sounds like that's a song straight out of the '90s, like it's like an early to mid '90s R&B song, and that's I think an ode to that type of music. So yeah, I mean this one, I think I liked it more on the first listen than the second listen, but I would say right now for me it's probably like 6 or 7 of them I really like, and then a couple not really. Like the intro or like that intro, the intro is almost like an interlude. Interludes, I'm not a big interlude guy. I'm like it's 45 seconds to a minute or whatever. Most times it doesn't really move the needle for me. But to this point here, the production, like the beats he chose, and like the production value is like, I mean that's. I don't want to say the best thing on any of these, but like it's up there with anything. Just in terms of like the beats are insane.
Yeah, I mean 40 again. I thought just showed off on this album. I thought it was just incredible. The beats are always top notch. The production always is up there. I remember just listening from, I think it was from Take Care to like Nothing Was the Same, or maybe Views. You could tell like the price of what they can go towards, like the type of samples they can get just increase. And I thought you saw that as well on this album. 40 was amazing. Again, I mentioned Conductor in the other one. The production was awesome.
Gordo,
had a few. Yeah. I think Pilo had one as well.
I think Gordo had 10 songs.
Yes, yeah.
I think was he more on Maid of Honor? I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm checking that quickly.
Yeah, I think he had a few on.
He was he was a mix of both. Actually he was primarily, because he did primarily Maid of Honor. I think he had a couple. Actually, the Gordo ones are some of my favorite ones. Let's get into Maid of Honor. So this is the one I feel like has gotten a lot of flack from people and has been more polarizing. My hot take, I actually think I might like Maid of Honor. I would say that I like the end of Maid of Honor, from New Bestie through Goose and the Juice. I think that pocket right there I like better than any pocket of Habibti. But there are like Outside Tweaking and Cheetah Print. I like BBW, BBW, and I like True Bestie too. So I do like a good chunk of this. I would say that Princess, Cheetah Print, not really my favorites.
Yeah, I think this is, if you're in the right environment, this I know someone had a tweet about it. I was like, this album is gonna go, or that album, Maid of Honor, is gonna go like triple platinum in nightclubs and stuff like that, because that is exactly what it's made for. It's almost egregiously made for it, right? It's kind of very much, he's telling you like, this is for TikTok, and this is for outside clubs, and this is for large, gatherings and different establishments type of thing.
I wasn't sure where you're going to go with the large.
Large gatherings
after large. I was like, I could go several ways.
Right. Yes. Large gatherings of people. Yes. An environment that, this can work. And if you're there, I think you're going to hear these type of songs outside, kind of like the intro. I won't say the name of the intro song, but the intro song is Something Phase. So that song, I'm sure that song is very clearly catered toward a specific environment. I like the Outside Tweaking song. I thought it was okay. That you're right. The Cheetah one was a little bit too much. Too sexy.
Road Trips is a banger. Road Trips is fire.
Yes, Road Trips was good. By the way, 2 Sexy Red features in these albums. It's kind of wild. That's a lot of Sexy Red on 3 albums. But she's the only one I believe that had 2 features. Right? Party only had 1 song. Yeah. So
the thing is, I like actually, I know a lot of people don't like Rich Baby Daddy, that song, especially there's like different remixes of it where it's almost like more of an EDM song or like a little faster tempo where I think it sounds better. And then I like You My Everything, which is her song that he was a feature on. So I've liked some of their previous collabs. I just don't. Yeah, the Cheetah Print one just doesn't really do it for me. Now, obviously, which one? I mean that was a big, to tie in the Lakers here, that was a big song for the Laker girls this year. That was one of like their consistent they would perform Which One during timeouts. So that song, I feel like Drake has had 3 songs between Which One, What Did I Miss, and Nokia post beef that all probably would have been number ones pre beef, and like kind of after the fallout. Like Nokia definitely would have been a number 1 pre beef in my opinion. I got close. I think I got to number 2 or something like that. But
yeah, I wonder which one. I don't know which one will be number 1 from here. But I think the too strong for the radio is probably going to be that feels like the most radio song on here, right? That's the most radio friendly. That's also the one I think that he says he mentions the kind of Epstein like islands or stuff like that. I think that's the song that he mentions that on. But yeah, I think you're right. Maid of Honor is the most polarizing in the negative way. That's got the most negative attention, but I do think in, again, outside environments, you're going to hear that album a lot. Like DJs are loading that up as we speak to play that in.
It's a summer. It's more of a summer album. You're out drinking, enjoying the beach or the pool or house party or whatever, club too.
Right. LED lights are on.
Did he go 3 for 3 then, or where are you at with everyone wants to put a number on it?
3 for 3. I mean, I think they're all like, if these were all standalones, I think they would all be able to stand on their feet as what they're made for, right? If he just put out Iceman, I think the whole rap community would have gone behind that and be like, yeah, this is one of the best rap albums that's come out. I've not got to go through which ones have come out this year, but like if that was just a standalone, I think that would make a lot of sense. It's kind of like when you released the Honestly Nevermind album, right? That was very clearly dance type of music. So for me, like I think these are all, again, there's some songs in here I won't replay, like the Cheetah Print one will not be something that I'll be re-listening to very often, but I think for the right crowd, that's gonna make that song is gonna make a lot of sense. So I would say he went 3 for 3. How about you?
Yeah, I'm still marinating on the other 2. I think for sure Iceman is like the type of album that people have been wanting. And I think, again, if like What Did I Miss did not come out a year ago and that this was like the first time we heard that, I think that would be like this, a standout single off of it that just, it's been out there for basically a year, so it doesn't hit the same. And or the Make Them Remember or National Treasures, like I think those songs kind of got deflated a bit by just leaking. But I think Iceman for sure to me is easily that's 1 out of 1. Habibti and Maid of Honor, I do wonder if you could have maybe combined the best songs from both and that just been its own like R&B / pop second album and kind of condensed it into 2 instead of 3. But I people saying 2 out of 3, 2.5. I'm probably at like the 2.5. I won't go like full 3 for 3 because I think right now there are some skips or songs I'd probably cut from the other 2 collectively. And I would say you probably got to be at like 80% of an album for me to consider it like a win, right?
I see.
Or skips or whatever. But I mean, the Iceman is like that. That's what we were expecting. So everything else is like extra, right? Like we wanted a rap album. We wanted the Iceman was the album that's been promoted for months and months and streams, and he's been hyping it up. So I think it delivered. Obviously, if you're not, I think one thing that there continues to be Drake's very polarizing, divisive. Some people love him, some people hate him. If you're a Drake fan, I think this is exactly what you wanted in 3 different genres, 3 different album types. If you're not, like maybe you don't like 1 of the 3 or 2 of the 3, whatever. But I think it to your point earlier, like it gave everybody a little bit of something that you wanted, because the pocket of Maid of Honor that I was referencing, like one of my friends has been like gassing that up, and he's like this is like the best stretch of the 3 albums, and I'm like, so you can have like the poppy style of music that people love, but then you also have the slow R&B ones, and you have the raps and the timestamp type of songs. So it's like that's I think not to glaze Drake too much here, as we already are, but like that's what to me makes his music so special and versatile and unique, is that he can wear so many different hats in terms of the type of music he makes that I just don't think we've seen, let alone like rapper, but just like artists that can do as much as he can do in different genres.
We didn't get too much into, I guess, the details of the raps, but I thought this was interesting where this album was much more, I don't know, it was not as much macho, like, hey, I'm Drake, I'm the GOAT. It was more like, I can't believe y'all did this, and here's bars for, how I feel about it. And, it was much more of a like kind of like reflective look back, instead of like some of my favorite songs are Away From Home, which is like just on For All the Dogs, Free Smoke, which was on the mixtape. Like those are like very much upbeat, like macho, like type of songs. This felt very much more like, even the LeBron disses were very much like, hey, don't ask me about it, like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Like he's when you kind of mentioned him. So I thought it was interesting, kind of the the context of the songs were very much I've kind of heard everything, I've listened, and I've just cut all those ties. He even has a song called Burning Bridges, kind of like, hey, there's a great line in there. It's like, yeah, burning bridges is okay, I'd rather take the long way, or something like that. It's just like, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm done with all of you. I thought it was an interesting type of songs that he made, where it wasn't like boasting as much as just, hey, I've read all the things that you guys are said, and I can't believe that this is where you guys are at. It was an interesting kind of song combination.
And that's where like Maid of Honor to me, there's some elements. I feel like Iceman to me is if the rap part of Views, and if you're reading this, it's too late, had a baby. That's kind of like the rap, like, because there's like there's an element of anger, right? Like like some of the subtext, it's like the revenge, the anger, right. And if you remember like Summer 16, looking for revenge, and that's the most singing you'll get out of me. 15 and 16, that was kind of like that was the Meek Mill beef. That was Drake. Kind of ascending to a different level, and you saw the bravado go to a different level. So I feel like that was kind of what we got in Iceman, but then we also got some of the more life and even a little bit of Views with like Controlla and Blem and those types of songs on Maid of Honors, and then we also got the R&B. So I have not like, the only thing I would say, if I had to nitpick like one thing, I do. Like the beef was one of the biggest rap beefs of all time, right? Obviously, but it was between the two top rappers at the time, and still, I would say right now, like the two top rappers. I feel like it was so omnipresent on the entire album that I would have liked, and it feels like there was even, I'm forgetting the song, but there's like even like a pop song where he just like the Panini beef line where he references like they're so pressed about the beef, it's a panini or whatever. Right. And it's just like even that has like nothing to do with like, he's not even really rapping on that, or it's more of like an upbeat happy song, and then he's still kind of referencing it. I would have liked maybe 30%, 20 to 30% less references to the beef. Like I get it. You like, it was such a big thing that I'm glad like he had to address it, obviously. And there are several songs where he dedicates to like specifically addressing it or largely addressing it. Totally understand that. I think it was just like in almost every song, it felt like, where it like even the Run to Atlanta is kind of funny, or Ran to Atlanta is kind of funny because of the Kendrick line, you run to Atlanta. But yeah, I don't know. I would say maybe like a little bit less of referencing the beef, because it feels like every time he talks about it, it does give it life and keep it kind of out there, where it's like I think this is hopefully him just moving on from that, and like all our future Drake music, he could still have the stuff where he's upset with people or taking shots at people, whatever, but I think like now he's addressed it. I hope moving forward it's just like turn the page and move on with into your early 40s.
Yeah, I think we're just going to hear both of these guys send shots, subtle, maybe not, maybe subtle shots at each other for the next, I don't know, few albums. I don't think this is going anywhere. You talked about it, that beef.
You're probably right.
Yeah, that beef dominated the whole internet. I mean, forget rap. That was like what everybody was talking about for a long time. So it's just not going to go anywhere. And I think that, like, I know you wanted less, I guess, bars towards Kendrick or in different songs, but
No. I don't mind. I don't mind bars
Okay.
towards Kendrick. I'm actually I'm on board with that.
No
It was
more.
more so
Okay.
just like there was. I just felt like there was constant like
Yes.
again. There's songs where he addresses it where it's like, all right, the whole song's about this. Like I'm cool with that. But it was more
Right.
so. I feel like there were times where he was talking about like other stuff, and
it
it was
just-
like he
it
was
just fell
in the flow, he was in the pocket with whatever he's talking about, and then
Yeah.
he would somehow work in like feeling slighted or and
Sure.
I get it. It was a huge deal, and it did. Like I understand why he feels that way. I felt as a fan like I don't know. I just would have liked to have kept that stuff on some of the
Yeah.
songs where he really addressed it, and then some of the other ones just like focus on whatever that song is about. That's
yeah.
my only thing.
For sure. And I honestly didn't expect him. I know he was going to address it, but didn't expect him to, I guess, admit that it affected him as much as he said, right? He's like, how did it feel to meet the Grim Reaper and stuff like that, where really kind of, he really addressed that, hey, this did impact me. This is something I was thinking about. And this is seen throughout the track list. I mean, make them cry, right? Make them remember, all that stuff, burning bridges. That is all an ode to the beef. Now he has beefs with multiple people. I believe,
A lot of people got bars.
Yes, I'm reading between the lines.
It was Kendrick, ASAP, Metro, Ross, LeBron,
Dylan Brooks, I think.
Dylan Brooks. Yeah, Dylan Brooks. That one's kind of permanent. Who else got bars that we're forgetting?
I think.
There's
Mustard. DJ Mustard.
And DJ Khaled got.
And Khaled. Yeah,
that one.
He got quite a big one. Yeah.
I'm trying. What's his face? Cardi got one. It was like Cardi / The Weeknd, and yeah, no. So I mean, again, we're kind of dealing with in nuance here. It's more so like, I have no issue with him. Yeah, and Jay-Z. Jay-Z.
Oh right, yeah.
You guys are right, Jay-Z.
ASAP got
Rudio
it.
asked if I will. Yeah, I'm gonna trim the albums to like if I were Drake's like producer and he came to me with the 40. I thought it was 43, but I guess people have been saying 41. I'd have to double check the math there, whether it's 41, 43, whatever. And then condense that to like a 22, 24 song and pretend like it's a Drake album, like one single album. That would be that's gonna be a weekend project for me.
Yeah, I mean, I some people are like, man, just call. I understand this take, and this is probably a longer conversation, but the quality over quantity, right, is the conversation that a lot of people throw in the face whenever we bring up, hey, like, I kind of like that my artist makes music on a consistent basis. I just got
Some artists don't.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I just got the Party album, and I enjoyed that one a lot. That and from there, like now we have this project, and he consistently puts out artists. He also shouted out, like, I don't know if you listen to them, Jovan, but one of my other favorite rappers is Russ, and he gave him a shout out as well on this one. That's someone I've seen live a few times as well.
Wait, which song? Because I know there was a leak with Russ.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Oh, sorry, it wasn't on this album.
It might have been a leak that didn't make the album.
Right. Yes. It was one of the leaks. Wow, that's how much music he's putting out. That there's songs that don't even make the 40 song list that he's putting out here. But yeah, like that, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm happy that my favorite artist puts out a ton of music, and most of it is quality to me. And there are some throwaways where I'm like, that one probably didn't need to make the cut, but that's what happens when you put out this much music. So yeah, I think overall it's just a really strong three projects.
Yeah, that here's Kevin saying it was Hasta La Vista.
Yes.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure. The only reason I mentioned that because I wasn't sure if they maybe changed it. Like there was the 1 a.m. in Albany leak that got renamed, so I wasn't sure if.
Yeah, I don't think that
because there'd also been like a 3 p.m. in New Orleans. What was another one?
Right.
Oh yeah, Dr. Dre got it bad too.
Yes.
Dre, yeah. Yeah, no, I was gonna make a point. I'm now blanking on it, but let's get into some of the Q&A here. We got some questions. So Zach, not Zach, thank you for the super chat, says National Treasures was the best on all three IMO. It's up there. It's in my top 3 for sure. Again, I think the first half of this, I don't like the second half of the song as much. The first half of the song to me is like the best minute and a half on the album. And just that beat drop and like the intro to that song is just, and that had been leaked for a while and we weren't sure if that was actually going to make the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's a monster song.
Yeah, my top 3 might change as we continue here when I listen to it again in different places on the car.
It does. It changes a lot.
Yeah, you listen to a song at the gym and all of a sudden like that song goes, oh, that actually needs to climb the repeat kind of list. That's what's cool about music. But yeah, again, National Treasure is a really good song too.
We got this one from Project MJ. Where would you rank Iceman on all of Drake's albums, top 3? So I have no idea where I would rank it right now. I have to sit with it for weeks, I would say, till I really have a good spot.
What is your top 3?
Top 3 in order is Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. If you're reading this, it's too late. And so like that's my, I guess,
okay.
If I'm saying my version of peak Drake is probably 2011 to 2015. After that, it gets like maybe Views 4th. So I guess you could extend it to like 2016, 2011 to 20. I mean, there's some parallels with Drake and LeBron with like kind of their primes and their peaks and like the years of it and whatnot. There's a ton, but so I would say it's gonna have it's. I almost feel like my top 4. I would probably put Views 4th. My top 4 is almost like ironclad. It's really difficult to get into that top 4, but I would say the 5th spot is still open, right? And I don't even know off the top of my head. Like, actually, like I think people sleep on More Life, and then Scorpion. I don't. I feel like I like it more in my head, and then when I go back and look at the songs, I only listen to like half of them consistently. So I don't know where. I would say her loss and More Life to me are kind of slept on in like his discography.
Yeah, I mentioned it to start, but it's funny because Take Care is my favorite Drake album, but Do Not Disturb is my favorite Drake song, and that was on the More Life kind of the project. So it's a little bit different. Away From Home is one of my favorite Drake songs as well of all time, and again, that's on For All the Dogs. But just in terms of full project, I think Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. I always like Nothing Was the Same. I always forget it. Then I go back and re-listen to it. It's like, oh man, like this one.
Nothing Was the Same is like his most efficient album. Like it's I think it's like 13 songs. Then with like the couple bonus songs, it's 15, and it's his shortest album. And it's like there's really like no skips on that.
Scorpion has my favorite outro. He has a song called Is There More? And that's just like it's just a perfect like reflection where he realizes like I have everything and yet it's nothing kind of thing. Like that's kind of my favorite type of Drake when he's just pure kind of self-reflection. But yeah, it's tough to kind of rank this yet. Like it's just too early. Gotta have a few more listens. People already putting in their top 2 or top 3. I think we gotta let it marinate a little bit. It's been 48 hours, 24.
Yeah, what's interesting with Views is like I wonder how much like for some of the people who really love Views, I feel like they might be on the younger side because I feel like I remember like when Views came out, a lot of people were upset, a lot of people were disappointed, a lot of people didn't like Views, and like I would say Views is his most hyped album, like just in terms of like the anticipation going into the moment, especially coming off of, if you don't count If You're Reading This because it was like a mixtape instead of an album, it was like coming off of Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. I think a lot of people still consider those his 2 best albums. It was like, okay, and now he's at this different level commercially where he's the biggest star in the world. Like what, and now for me, I loved it. I think it's like, for me, my 3rd or 4th, I probably would have gone 3rd originally. As time has passed, I think If You're Reading This, like I flip-flop with those 2 between 3 and 4. But for me, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same are easily his 2 best, and I don't think anything is close to those 2. But they're just they're like unanimous MVP, finals MVP seasons. It's just to me, those two are perfect.
Yeah, it's funny because you think about like you put album track, you compare albums, but then you go look at track lists. You're like, wait, Western Road Flows is probably one of my top 5, Drake songs as well, and that's on views. You mentioned Fire and Desire earlier. That one did, that one was huge. I like Child's Play a lot too. I thought that that's one that I have on replay a lot. But yeah, it's tough.
What's your favorite?
Yeah,
what's your favorite like underrated Drake song, or just like kind of slept on song that you feel like people would be surprised to hear you name?
There's one called Club Paradise, which I think a lot of people don't really know about. That's one of my favorites.
Honestly, Care Package, if we are counting Care Package as an album, Care Package might actually be number 3 for me, because all those Lucy's on Care Package are amazing.
Good.
I love Care
good.
Package.
Yeah, but that one to me, Club Paradise, gets kind of lost in there. That's one of my favorites. Obviously all the timestamps, pretty much people know about those. Dreams Money Can Buy, kind of underrated a little bit. Yeah. That one too.
Honestly, Care Package is just ridiculous.
Yeah, Emotion as well. And I would say like Drake we haven't discussed this, he has a million features as well. Like forget his own songs, like he has just a million features that he's also done, which you can kind of go through. Those are some of my favorite songs as well, where I've kind of, I go back and listen to just, the features on him. So and that's not even counted in this. These are all his songs.
Mine is Days in the East, and that's I think one. I mean, that's a slower one, but it has some rapping parts in it. But I mean, okay, Care Package. Just listen to how crazy this. I mean, again, it's more of a mixtape of like random kind of singles that he never released on albums. But Dreams Money Could Buy, The Motion, How About Now, Trust Issues, which is a banger, and The Weeknd has a version, Justin Bieber has a version.
Yes.
Days in the East. Draft Day, that's like one of the best pump up songs ever, and especially on like playing that before like a fantasy football draft or something. 4 p.m. in Calabasas, which hits close to home for me because I'm from that area. 5 a.m. in Toronto, I Get Lonely. My Side, that's another classic. Jodeci Freestyle with J. Cole. Club Paradise, Free Spirit, Heat of the Moment, Girls Love Beyonce, Paris Morton Music, and Can I? I mean, this is just banger. Like, this is insane.
Do you have a
Care
favorite
Package is insane.
Do you have a favorite feature from him? Not to put you on, I think so. Paris Morton is that you mentioned Paris Morton. That was Rick Ross's song, but he had like a lost verse on it, right? I don't think his verse made like the final cut or whatever. So all the fans were like, "Where's his verse at?" And like they released like a lost verse version, but yeah, that's my favorite feature from him. He also has one from called on the song "Wasting Time." I'm forgetting the artist on that. Brent Faiyz's record. That one too is, I think, those are my favorite features from him. Also on the week, yeah.
This is so immediately Wanna Know, the song with Dave. That one is so I'm looking at just his 2018 run. What was it like? That was the goated like year of features. Like you had Sicko Mode, which back in the day before I cared about my public persona, I would like post myself like listening to that on my Instagram story, like speeding, listening to it. It was like probably not safe to be doing. Look Alive. Obviously, Aston Martin Music, Paris Morton Music, Going Bad, No Guidance.
There's also
Effing Problems he gave to ASAP.
Yes,
Life is Good. Girls Need Love. I mean, right above it, that's a classic. No Lie, Wait for You. I mean, there's so many. I think he's Drama. That's Work.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad he and The Weeknd like had a falling out, because I think 2 of my favorite features from him, and honestly 3, because one of them is Drake's song, but I mentioned The Ride earlier, just one of my favorite songs of all time. And they have 2 called The Zone and Live For with Weeknd, and just both his verses on both.
Most of Take Care is Weeknd influences, or like Weeknd was a part of.
Right.
And that, I would say my favorite non-Drake project of anybody's might be House of Balloons by The Weeknd, which is his first mixtape. And there was a lot of good times were had with that mixtape. All right, we got a couple more here. We got a Lakers one, but we will leave that. Mishra with an Eminem ask if she asked about top 5 Eminem albums. I would probably agree with this.
Okay.
I think those are Eminem's 5 best. I grew up. We have the same birthday, so I was. Yeah, I mean he's Eminem.
Okay.
If you're a white 9-year-old around 2000, then you liked Eminem.
Yeah.
And then ACSD said, "Do you believe in the conspiracy they put out 3 albums to finish his UMG deal and get out of it now?" I don't. Only because I feel like there would have been. He's talked about it before, and even on the album, he was kind of referencing like the 21 Savage song is sort of referencing like that UMG wants to keep him for billions of dollars, or he's got offers of billions of dollars on the table. So I think we would have known, or he would have made some like clear reference to it on the album that this is it, it's over, he's done with UMG. So I unfortunately for him think he's still stuck in that.
Yeah, that's above my music grade. I really have no idea. He does mention Lucian Grange, I think, on this album as well. It's somewhere in it, or maybe it was on one of the release tracks. He mentioned Lucian Grange, which is the CEO of UMG. But yeah, I'm not sure. That would make a lot of sense. I think that people were wondering, or was this just a throwaway to do that? But yeah, I'm not sure. We'll find out, I guess, pretty soon.
Then we'll take one. We have a basketball question here from Wannabe GM's podcast. Any big options to look at? Not much out there right now. You have some bigs.
Sure. This is quite the right turn. Get back into basketball mode, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think we watched one. We'll see what he gets this summer. I think Jalen Duren is a name that I'm sure the Lakers are kind of monitoring. The Cavs also have a name, I'm sure, Jared Allen, that they're looking at. The Blazers, Robert Williams, I'm guessing, is a big that they'll see what they can get for him. Yeah, it's a tough big man market. So I think like Jackson Hayes is likely back. There was a report that he's one of the priorities, I guess, to return this summer. We'll see what Ayton does with his player option, if he opts in or not. But those are kind of the main big ones I think about now, unless I'm missing anybody. But it's going to be a tough big man.
I would throw Walker Kessler in there, and I would throw Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yes.
I think it's going to be Lou Dort who becomes the potential casualty if OKC has to move on from one of those two. I think he's slightly easier to replace for them based on just like you're not going to really find someone of Isaiah Hartenstein's caliber with their financial situation. And I don't think they have somebody waiting in the wings where like Lou Dort, I think you can get by with like more Jalen Williams, more Kason Wallace, more Caruso, more AJ Mitchell. We could go on and on with OKC's depth. Yeah, I mean, I would say Duren, Kessler, Mitchell Robinson, Robert Williams. Those are probably my top 4 in free agency. And then I would look at Isaiah Hartenstein, Jared Allen, Nick Claxton in the trade market as Daniel Gafford if Dallas is willing to play ball, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Justin says I got depressed again. Quick, a couple more things before we wrap up. So ADB, I've gotten this a lot of like, you're an LA guy, born and raised, blah, blah, blah. I've been, since So Far Gone came out, like I've been a Drake stan, and he has been my favorite artist from that point. I will always remember the first moment I heard Best I Ever Had. And so I was like already in, fully with Drake before I even heard my first Kendrick song, which would probably be ADHD if I had to think back on it. And obviously they worked together on Take Care, and Kendrick had an interlude on there, and then it just immediately went to beef. And so I would say I liked Kendrick in the beginning. I still liked Drake much more and thought he was better. But then once it became beef, as a Drake stan, I was going to be on the Drake side. So it has been awkward because a lot of my friends are either like them like equally or like Kendrick more, and so it's been a rough couple of years. I might need therapy for what I've gone through these last couple of years, but the boy is back, and I think he delivered this weekend.
We both covered the Lakers, and while this was going on, Not Like Us was everywhere, including inside crypto.com arena, including the pregame, I believe, pregame song. So yeah, you could not go anywhere without hearing it. And the same was listening since So Far Gone. He has a song in there called Say What's Real. I remember I heard that one. I was like, oh, this is different. Like, this is different type of rap. And became like a fan right there. The Best I Ever Had verse kind of hooked me right away as well. And yeah, from there, again, there's this idea that you can't you can enjoy both very comfortably.
You can easily,
and there's no need to.
I'm not one of those people.
No, sure.
I don't rock
no,
with.
But my point is, like, you can be a fan of one and not the other. Like, it's okay. Like, it's music. It's subjective. It's it's personal taste.
It's like liking two players who have like if if you don't necessarily have a team, or even if I'm sure there were Laker fans back in the day. Like I was one of them that when Kobe and Shaq split up, it was still like I mean Shaq, granted, was my favorite player, and so it made it a little complicated, but I'm sure that like there were still people who liked Shaq after he left, and you didn't have to be this either or thing. Like it did escalate with some of the Christmas stuff, and like there was a little beef there, but I just think, I mean, if you're really a diehard fan for one of the two, then I think you are not going to like the other one, but everybody in the middle, you could like both.
Right. Yeah. So, we both picked sides, and we'll see how much this continues in their music. I'm sure Kendrick is, whenever he drops his next album, this will be a part of it, or him showboating about it, or whatever. Like, he's gonna put it in his music, and Drake is clearly not over it. And I mean, how could you be, right? The whole world was on your neck for that much time, and I think he responded very well. Like, again, we mentioned What Did I Miss? I thought that was a great way to put it out and kind of talk about like what did I miss it, and put it in music form. And I think this was an awesome project, and I'm excited to kind of get back to it and listen in all different types of places.
Bashir, I don't see a question, so if you want to drop that in the chat, I can get to that. And then, I mean, I did see this one. Jovan has a similar smile to Luca. Just noticed. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, Bashir, to wrap this up, said, was just asking if there's any features you guys wanted in the album and didn't get. And Dylan Brooks just called Vando the dumbest player on stream. I saw that. I don't agree with that, but seems to be something there. I mean, like Drake and Wayne, like I would have liked in my opinion, a better 21 Savage feature. Just like the people who are actually backing him during this whole situation, I would have liked to, maybe, but not really.
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking for, too many features. You're right. I think a better 21 verse probably would have helped, but I don't think he wanted very many rap features. Like, I think this was very intentional. He even has a line in it, right? It's like, this better have a bunch of features. Like, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is going to be pretty much a solo project. And that's kind of what it was. Even the Future song, like, that wasn't crazy amount of, or a crazy Future verse either. So, not really that I can think of. Maybe I was going to say J. Cole, but it's clear him and Cole also, I guess, have separate a little bit from what they were. But I'm sure they'll reconcile. I mean, I have confidence that
I think they will too.
We haven't heard the last.
It might be a little bit, but
yeah. It's sad him and Ross too. Him and Ross made great music. Like one, like it's tough for me because I'm like I feel like Ross like came like he just jumped off the top rope. Yeah, he crossed a few lines for sure.
Because I saw he did the Fat Joe podcast and Jada podcast, and he was like, "Oh, like Drake mentioned me," and it was like, I don't remember Drake ever mentioning Ross in like a derogatory way until Ross just took a shot at him. I could be wrong, but
yeah, Rick Ross chose the Kendrick side pretty strong, but Yeah, like, they have some good like Stay Scheming obviously is a popular one. Popular verse, the Money in the Grave verse, like a lot of those I think are just good projects. Him and Ross flow pretty well, but I'm not sure I'll see another Drake and Ross song. But I'm confident another Drake and Cole song will come out at some point.
They'll yeah. This last one here from Kendrick asks, who do you think Drake has the best chemistry with all time? It might honestly be Ross. Drake and Ross, it's like every time they link up, it's
so good. It's good.
Cinema.
It's fun because him and Weeknd also have just amazing.
They just don't.
In terms of hook and verse, I'm not sure there's anyone better than him and Weeknd. Like that's like Crew Love. Like you could play Crew Love when I'm 65 and I'll still probably be, bumping to that. But yeah,
him and Future have a lot. Like Future. I think some of his frequent ones, like Future, Wayne, and Ross, are probably the top three. I mean, him and Rihanna have some classics as well, but that's obviously never happening again.
We sure? Yeah, I mean, I guess.
J notes Dirk as Future. Well.
Oh yeah, Dirk. Did they? I mean, him and Dirk don't have crazy.
They have a couple.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're, was it Laugh Now Cry Later is obviously I think the big one with him and Dirk, but not too him and Lil Baby also have a few. I think Wants and Needs is really good. I like that one a lot. But yes, the Ross one is bad.
Not trying to start a political debate here, to be clear, but I did get a super chat from In Defense of the Genre. At least Drake brought attention to Palestine and the Epstein files. So yes, he did. Lil Baby, I see. Him and Kendrick, honestly, yeah. Him and Party have some classics as well.
That album too. What did you like that album? That I like really. That one had crazy replay value to me. The Party album, the
Sexy
songs. Yeah,
For You. That one grew on me a lot. I didn't. So I shared this on when I talked about this a couple of nights or streams ago. Like I typically am underwhelmed by Drake projects upon the first listen, and it takes me like a little bit for it to click, and often I've noticed like it won't be like my favorite song, but usually like my third or fourth favorite song is a song I like originally hated and was like, oh, this is garbage, like what is this? And then it like grows on me, and then I'm like, all right, like this is actually already what's the one that I'm already forgetting the songs off the top of my head. We talked about it. Let me pull it up here. Janice. I didn't like the first, like the auto-tune stuff. I didn't like at first, and now Janice might be my fourth favorite song on the album. So just comes. People saying Travis.
When that released, a lot of people weren't really excited about it, but there's some like Small Town Fame. I like that one a lot. Somebody Loves You, like that one. Raining in Houston. Give Me a Hug was one of the few leaks right after the beef as well, right? It was kind of like it was one of those songs that came out, but I really
like Die Trying. That was another one that at first I was like, this one's kind of, it's almost like a Hey There Delilah knockoff, but then it grew on me. Spider-Man, Superman.
Yes.
AC says Janice is about the UMG. I saw that. I guess we don't know if that's confirmed, but yeah, I mean that's Hours in Silence. Yeah, Hours in Silence. Oh, so honestly, good. Her Loss is like
underrated. Yeah,
it might be his best 2020s project up until Iceman. I don't know. It's up there. I think CLB and For All the Dogs both get slept on a bit.
I agree. Yeah, CLB was a lot better than people think. But yeah, I'm looking back at Her Loss. I kind of forgot some of the Middle of the Ocean, Treacherous Twins. That was a strong project. Yeah, man.
Middle of the Ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Raj, appreciate you for trying out a different style of content here. This is my first non-Lakers, non-NBA podcast stream, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing many of these, but I do like. I got the platform to go live and just talk about whatever I want to talk about. So I appreciate you going on this voyage with me and hearing about my escapades in college.
I would like to put on the record. I tried to stop you a few times just to say that, but
this
This was
I
fun.
hope I
Yeah,
don't
it's
get
cool.
canceled. Yeah.
It was cool, kind of and talking about not just this album, but kind of you go back and you just think about all the songs that you still have on replay that I don't like. We talk with our friends about this, but not from a I don't know, a detailed way, kind of film breakdown type of conversation. It was cool to kind of go and break down some bars and some albums, stuff like that.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, appreciate you guys in the chat. Shout out to the Late Night Gang. Shout out to all the Drake stands. And yeah, enjoy. I'm going to be listening all weekend, and I'm sure my ranking will be different on Monday or Tuesday. But shout out to the chat. I have a shout out to the Late Night Gang. I have a mailbag coming out on Monday, so be on the lookout for that. And then yeah, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming covering the Lakers. And Raj, I'll have to have you on to talk about the offseason at some point coming up here. But I appreciate you hopping on, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
All right, man. Shout out to the chat. I'll talk to you all very soon.